Okay, we still have a few more things to clear up, so let's get working on these. I'm pretty sure it'll tell me when time's gonna advance, so as long as I don't do anything that does that, we should be fine. Because I don't really know the order to do any of this stuff in.
Oh, that's great.
Hi. You really did come. Not like I didn't trust Dingo at all. His name's Van Arkwright. I take it you're Meld's editor-in-chief? Yep, that's me. Me and Dingo go back about 7 years. Well, you mean you used to. He told me a lot about you. Sounds like you were real busy over in Orision too. No clue what you're talking about. Thought there would be no reports about us being involved with it? There won't. The authorities are keeping it a secret. He's probably just saying that to get under our skin. Well, whatever. It's not getting an article, so I'm not interested. Well, he seems nice. I called you here for one of those 4 SPGs of yours. Nothing more, nothing less. Gist of it is that I want you to help me look for Dingo's notebook. Oh? What's this about? You suspect he had a notebook containing information he'd gathered as a reporter, or more like as an information dealer? Both, actually. First heard about it a few weeks ago, just before he headed off to Krail. I could tell he was chasing a dangerous scoop of some kind. So I jokingly asked if he had a will ready yet. Oh. And look at us now. It didn't really occur to me, not even for a second, that this would happen to him just 4 days later. I laughed at it at the time and said he laughed at it at the time and said one thing to me. Closest thing I have to a will is my notebook. He left it with a trusted source, so if anything happens to me, send out a 4SPG about it. Wait a second. So this is a third memento of his on top of the video and camera. We don't have that notebook ourselves, though. Sorry if that's what you were hoping for. Oh, I never thought you did, but I suspect you're the only ones who could track it down. Dingo seemed to trust you more than anyone, so I suspect that's the way he wanted it to play out too. The authorities have got everything that happened in Krail down on lock, and Amada are dead and gone. So I can't imagine it'd have anything worth writing an article about in it to begin with, which means it's not worth my while hunting it down. But I can't just go and ignore his words about it. So here we are. I'll put up the money for you to find this thing, my last gift to him. So what's it gonna be, Spriggan? You gonna go find Dingo's notebook or not? Yeah, I think we have to, so. Well, we'll get more grade points for it, because of course we do. We'll take the job. You got anything else you want to share? Maybe he said something more about this trusted source of his, for example? Yeah, I remember telling him that this was nowhere near enough info to find the thing myself. Only hint he gave me was that it's with people who know about as much about my past as you do. Way to pique my interest. I wonder what Dingo's past was like. I've only heard bits of it myself. How much do you know? Even less than you do, I suspect. I know he used to live in Meseldom before ending up in the capital 7 years ago. That's about it. Wait, didn't Dantes act like he knew him?
It's been some time since we last met, Dingo Brad. Though we did cross paths in Tharbad, albeit briefly. If we exclude that little encounter, I haven't seen you since your days as a mere informant in Meseldom.
Yeah, and you were still Enrique's second in command back then.
Saying the two of them knew each other at length beforehand would be a fair assumption. Alright, we'll see what we can dig up with that info then. Good luck. Anyway, my break's over. I gotta get back to work on finding scoops for the festival. I'll give you my number. Just give me a call if you do find it. I'll wire you the money if you do. It can be my way of honoring Dingo's death. Got it. We'll take it from here. Yep, we're all sure he's dead. So what's the plan here? We don't exactly have a lot of info to go off of. Only clue we have is that someone that knows as much about Dingo as that guy does. That rules out Jack and Bramati and Van, obviously. Oh, and Rin too. Yeah, any information dealer is probably out of question here, and so is anyone with as many connections as Rin has. And people like Nina and I know even less than that editor-in-chief does. Dingo was a very private person, and it went both ways. It honestly surprised me to see a gossip magazine reporter being so considerate. That's just how he was. Jack, Bramati, and I try not to pry into his past either, mind you. But something must have happened between Dingo and Dantes while he was still in Messeldom. Left the city after whatever that was, ending up in the capital and becoming a reporter right after. Don't know any details, but I imagine we'll get out of this knowing a whole lot more than we came in with. We're gonna be unearthing what he tried to bury this whole time, all the burdens he carried by himself. You don't look like you're about to back down, though. No way, a job's a job, and I'm nothing if I can't see this kind of shit through. But anyway, I can think of at least one person who'd fit the bill for this job that won't be a pain in the ass to meet up with. It's not an information dealer, mind you, but she was close to Dingo. Oh? Okay. I can't be the only one who immediately thought of her. Oh. Does seem plausible, but that she might know something. Are we going to meet her then? Yeah, let's head on over to the Tyrell Times. Don't think a meeting with her will be all that hard to get as long as she's not at the office. Right. Damn it, the bastard up and left us with a bill. Gotta be pretty sly if you're gonna be running the biggest gossip rag in the country. Well, it's the least we could do for him since he brought this to our attention. Mariable, I assume? Yep, I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Let's roll. Well, I heard.
Oh, it's you guys. Great job, everyone. You all really saved the day back in Oricion. Thanks, you're a big help too. Without you, I doubt we could have been able to get all those kids on the airship. I've noticed you've been keeping busy lately. Yeah, you could say that, and I had a lot of investigating to do once those revelations about Oricion came to light. It was all worth it in the end. I feel like I'm finally making a difference. Good for you. Now Dingo's got one less thing to worry about up there. I sure hope so. If I'm that much closer to becoming the sort of reporter he was, I'll take it. Hey guys, good to see you again. Yeah, it's like we just talked. Need something with the paper? Not this time, we came here to talk to you. I'll give it to you straight. We're working on a 4SPG involving Dingo and need your help. What, you are? What sort of request is it? Please tell me. To put it simply, you talked to Meld's editor-in-chief, Mr. Cunning? Dingo told me about him before, but I've never had the chance to meet him in person. Said he wants you to find Dingo's notebook? That's right. Do you remember Dingo ever talking to you about that thing by any chance? Doesn't have to be anything direct or explicit. Anything you happen to remember him saying will help. Actually, we didn't just talk about it before. I've seen that notebook with my own eyes. Say what? How did that happen? As I'm sure you all noticed, when he was alive, I tended to barge in on him while he was trying to work and stuff. One day while we were having lunch, I was asking for advice on how to interview people, and he was writing stuff in this black leather notebook. I asked him what it was since I was curious. He told me it's where he jots his info down, both for his reporting work and info broker stuff. That definitely sounds like what we're after. Nothing else, at least we can now confirm that it's real. I got a little whiny and tried to get him to show me his notes, but of course he refused. Well, I got huffy about it. He kind of laughed and patted me on the head. I still remember exactly what he said. Who knows, maybe you'll get a peek at them one of these days. Although if I play my cards right, you should never have to. Oh wow. He must have already been preparing for what might happen to him in that case. Is that the way... If that's the way he was talking, then we could probably rule out him taking the notebook with him to Krail. CID also apparently swept through his place and couldn't find any real material of note they left there either. He had to have either given it to someone else to hang on to or stashed it somewhere for safekeeping. Which brings me to my question. Can you think of anyone he would have left that notebook with, or anyone who might know where it would be? Again, it's okay if you don't know anything definitive. Any leads you might have would be great. And just to be clear, I don't mean other brokers like Barmati. I'm talking about other sorts of acquaintances he had. Right, of course. Let me think. Based on what Mr. Cunning told you... Wait, could he have... Think of something? Maybe. I could be completely wrong, but I can't rule it out either. Basically, when Dingo was alive, he would sometimes cover the adult industry for Meld magazine. He did? That's interesting. I guess that comes with being a tabloid reporter. What's the adult industry? Doesn't every industry have adults in it? Fairy must be protected at all costs. It's code for grown-up stuff. Certainly more grown-up than this wannabe protege here, that's for sure. Anyway, one time I confronted him about it. Do you really have to cover such sexual stuff in your articles? If readers demand it, it's our job as reporters to give them what they want, plain and simple. Plus, it's a way to get information that can help shut down some of the nastier illegal places run by the Mafia. Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. Out of curiosity, do you ever visit those sorts of places yourself? Huh? Only when I need to for work. Lately, I've been too busy to go to any places like that myself, so I've had to lean on one of my old contacts a lot to get what I need. Not exactly ideal when my job is supposed to be to report on things I see myself, but it is what it is. Fair enough, I guess. You sure won't hear me complaining about you. Complaining about what? Nothing at all. Anyway, who's this contact you mentioned? She's a woman who operates underground, runs a handful of outlets. Pretty talented, all things considered. Your contact is a woman? Yeah? Why does that matter? You gotta introduce me to her. It'll help me write better news articles. Yeah. Unfortunately, Dingo said it was too soon for me to be going to a place like that, and that was that. Looking back on it, there's only one part of town he could have meant when he said she worked underground, huh? Yeah, I think that goes without saying. Not only that, I think I just might know the woman he's talking about. Never would have guessed those two had any history, but just goes to show it's a small world we live in. I certainly remember there being a business at 5th and Bill when we were down there. Does it mean we're going to the Blacklight District? Yeah, who knows if we'll turn anything up down there, but it's worth a shot.
Hey, you guys?
Hey, voice acting!
I want to go with you. Could I? Please?
I don't know. Yeah, it gets kind of dangerous in the Blacklight District. Oh, they just voiced that one line, okay. I already know how dangerous it could be, believe me. And it's gone, yep. But we're talking about Dingo's notes here. What's inside of them matters to me too, you know.
Who knows? Maybe you'll get a peek at them one of these days. Although if I play my cards right, you should never have to.
Hey, they voiced that line too. That's 2 voiced lines in this scene. She does have a point. What do you think, man? Alright, you can come. You did give us some valuable info, so it's only fair, but you gotta promise 2 things. 1, you'll stay behind us down there. No running ahead. And 2, you'll carry your own weight and help us out too. Deal? Deal. Thanks. I promise you won't regret this. Might need a counter for jump scare voice acting lines next game. Yeah, it might actually not be the worst idea. They really do seem completely random. Okay, so we know we have to go to the Blacklight District. Let's just do whatever is in the
Taking off
Scene
now.
District first and get that done. 'Cause we know it's not a quest, so...
That's fair.
Hey, it's the weird reunion. Nice little party you guys have here. Don't mind if I do. We're just party hopping, I guess. Well, if this isn't Aaron and the Arkwright crew, good to see you've kept well. Never thought I'd see a Bracer, a Huey Elder, a Marduk security chief, and the CID head all banded together like this. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Can't deny it makes me a bit on edge, though. Types from both sides of the law tend not to mix well. I assure you, it's much less charged than you make it out to be. We're just exchanging information and confirming agreements. Please pay us no mind. You look busier than ever, Mr. Alfie. Oh, I hadn't seen you since Erysion. You kind of scare me, if I'm being honest. We were actually just talking about how to go about cleaning up that mess. Taking care of Armada remnants, you mean? Let me just move this voice line here, and it's gone. Would you like to invest more to our VA budget? Yeah, it's kind of weird how they did that. We've smoked out pretty much all the hideouts they had left. We're taking our own measures, of course, mostly concerning Armada's trade and supply routes. More problematic trade routes have been taken care of. Huey will see to the rest. But that's just what you were hoping for. We did also uncover some artifacts that they had been using. The church is handling those. Well, good to hear that's been taken care of. Cool. Nice not to have that looming over the festival. In truth, that's why I'm here. Festival has the full support of the Kowloon group this year. That, of course, does lead to some overlap between us and Marduk. I'm here to make sure we don't step on each other's toes, so to speak. I can't tell you much, I'm afraid. Only the general approach HQ is taking. You have to wait 3 days for more in-depth negotiations. Mr. Thorndike will be holding a meeting to go over our itinerary. Well then, you're right. Now probably isn't the best time. Can't go jumping the gun. They're discussing all sorts of things from the looks of it. Yeah, nothing to do with us though. On the contrary, I do have some information you might find useful. We're still tracking down some Armada hideouts that have taken to the underground. Along with some of those hate groups they use for their ends. Leftovers, huh? And Melchior is still on the run too. Can't count them out just yet. I mean, he's definitely right there. He pulls those thugs back up and we'll have Armada 2.0 on our hands. Indeed, he's quite the wild card. We haven't seen any movement from him as of late. Not that. That means he hasn't been contacting said remnants either. Guild's working on exposing Armada's business ties. We want to pull it all out by the roots. Elaine and some S ranks from HQ are in charge of that. Gotcha. How's she doing out of curiosity? Sorry, can't say for sure. She should be back tomorrow though. I'm sure she'd appreciate a nice warm welcome when she gets home. Butt out, bucko. You know, we haven't seen Ren, and I'm sad about that. That makes me very sad.
Then let's head over.
I don't think I've seen you before.
Well, I don't know what is what, but, we'll go this way. Oh, there might be more, virtual combat simulator things. I should probably look into that. Okay, I get lost here. Okay, well, the problem is I don't know where anything is in relation to anything else. So... I am very directionally challenged. Damn it! So many dead ends in this place. Make it stop. Okay, there's something here. Hi. I need water. I told you to take it easy with the hard stuff while we're here. We're not on our home turf. You can't expect them to make stuff the same here. Didn't realize you two were in Edith. Looks like you're having a real fun time. Hey there, good to see you. We've been working like dogs on the broker stuff. Thought we could use a break, and now here we are, just having the time of our lives. So what dragged you two, well, for here, all the way here? You on their tail, I take it? Yep, we're trying to figure out how the underworld's changing now that they're gone, and you can really only do that on the ground. Pretty calm so far, surprisingly, more than I expected. Maybe it's because the CID was so on top of the stragglers. Probably. Now that those smug punks aren't running around, the underground's settling back down. Those drugs, though, they'll be sticking around for a while. It's a lot tougher to get those off the streets. It does make sense. That's unfortunate. Actually, this chat just reminded me of something. Hey Jack, when does your next book come out? That's a great question, actually. I've heard whispers about some two-bit gangster who's on the run from the feds now, after he did some work for those guys. Word is he's camping out somewhere in the Tyrell district. I don't have anything else to go on, but I figured you might want to know. Tyrell district, huh? That's a good tip. Appreciate it. Well, have fun, you two. Just try to stay on your feet. Alright?
Alrighty.
So do we have to... Nope? Okay.
I like it.
Wanna get a drink
Hi.
together?
Ooh, you look dangerous.
A bunny strap. Okay. I'll take it.
I'd better see you again.
Let me ask you something.
Oh, it's you. You know, I thought I knew you well, but I had no idea you and Dingo went so far back. Level with me here, you were the one helping him investigate Ama's legal adult business, weren't you? Yeah, that's right. You must have worked together for a decade, I want to say. We both had to keep it on the down low in order to operate freely, though. Key and I had known each other since we were both up in Messeldom. That long, huh? Guess that makes sense. If you don't mind me asking, how did the two of you, meet? Wasn't anything special. He was a newly minted intel broker, and I was your common whore making ends meet out in the streets. We had a nice little thing going. He'd buy information I coaxed for my clients, and I'd do him some favors in kind. He scratched my back, I scratched his. Yeah, this is all news to me. Can we assume that Dingo hadn't started doing any reporting work back then? More or less. I will say, for an errand boy working underground, he had a certain naivety to him back then, maybe because he was still so young. I had an acquaintance who worked at a local paper. I remember he was pretty intrigued about that side of things. Also mentioned it was 8 years ago when I'll also mention it was 8 years ago when I made the move to Edith and set up shop down here. When you have to read for like 6 hours, it does kind of make you start to misread some words. Before I left, he gave up some top secret information as a parting gift. His intel and his connections have been a huge help to me. Leave it to the lady killer to schmooze his way into the underground. He really helped a lot of people while he was alive, didn't he? That he did. Indeed. Later on, after everything went down in Messeldom, that's when he ended up drifting into town. Personally, I was happy to see him make a clean break and get into a better line of work with better people. You never know what life has in store for you. Maybe the goddess took a liking to him and threw him alone. Maybe so, yeah. Starting to interject, but what happened to him in Messeldom? I don't know anything about that. I wish I could tell you, honey, but it's not really my place to say. That all happened after I left, so I only heard things through the grapevine. But I won't leave you empty-handed. If you're looking for his notebook, I got some information I'd be happy to share. Really? You do that? Thank you so much. Just to clarify, we're looking for this black leather notebook he used to carry around. You seen it before, I take it? Sure have. He'd been looking for a place to stash it away. I offered to hold on to it myself, but he turned me down. Can't blame him for being cautious when he was going up against Armada. But I did hear him mutter something about asking for help on his way out of town for a piece. That was 3 days before everything went down in Grail, for reference. Holy cow, what timing. Actually, now that she mentions it, how did Dingo get to Grail? Do you have any ideas, man? He had his tiny-ass car, but he never drove it all that much. He was always paranoid of people following him. Usually, he took a train or a bus when he had to go out to the sticks. Probably flew a bit from time to time, too. But I don't know what he did here. Same, we're talking about a guy who knew all their tricks by that point. He might as well have just been moving randomly. I'm sure as hell, he sure as hell wouldn't be taking something as obvious as public transit, not when Armada had eyes everywhere. Exactly, I think we can rule out his own car too. That would have carried its own risks. Thinking realistically, he probably would have rented a car, hitchhiked on a truck, taken a taxi, ridden an orbital bike. Well, great. I I'm trying to think, like, which one would this be? Like, if you hitchhiked, it wouldn't leave a trail, but obviously that has its own questions. Taking a taxi. I feel like that could be... I feel like all these have some kind of way that they could be tracked, which makes it hard to figure out. This is tough. Because if he rented a car, then his name's on that. If he hitchhiked on a truck, I don't know, I just can't see that being an option. I don't really have a good reason, I guess, besides I don't think he would hitchhike. Taking a taxi. I guess there's no, like, written thing, especially if you, like, paid in cash. Right? It's too far for an orbital bike, right? So this one will leave paper trail. Can't see it being this one. Ridden an orbital bike is too... It has to be taking a taxi. Right? Taxi would leave a witness? It would, but, like, so would the truck. The rented a car thing would also leave a witness of... and it would leave, like, written stuff. And this is just too far. So, I don't think we could just specifically go by that. I think it has to be taking a taxi. You missed the reasoning up to here. He didn't want to be tracked, basically. But you're right, it would leave a witness. But everything's gonna leave a witness. Like, the orbital bike thing, I guess, wouldn't, but it's too far for him to have taken an orbital bike. So it has to have been taking a taxi. It has to be. This is a paper trail. I can't see it being that. It has to have been taking a taxi. I think the chances are pretty good our guy took a taxi. Sure as hell ain't cheap, but I'd have given him the lowest profile and the most flexibility. They blend right in on the road. Good thinking. Might be onto something. Taxis are pretty commonplace, especially for people heading out of town. There's no way Armada could have been monitoring every single taxi running in Edith. So let's say he did take a taxi. What kind would he have taken? Probably one of those independent ones instead of a company taxi, right? Excellent point. Hiring a self-employed driver would allow him to chart his own course and movements. Sounds like you guys have your next lead. I have no idea who the driver could be, unfortunately. Maybe it's one of his friends. My guess is he had a driver he hired on the regular, someone he could trust. That ring any bells for you? You know, something it actually does. I remember Dingo would sometimes hail a taxi to get to a reporting site. He mostly took the ones that had this black and yellow checkered pattern around the bottom. The driver was an eccentric guy too, from what I recall. Oh, that's good info. Glad you were able to remember that. You said it. We'll have to look into that once we're done here. Anyway, thanks for the chat, mistress. I'll pay you back sometime. Thank you so much. You have no idea how grateful I am. Don't mention it. I owe Dingo that much. That said, you can always repay me by coming back here to play, you know. Don't forget that. Oh yeah, Dingo would tell me stories about you two sometimes. The punk-ass Spriggan and the newbie reporter he'd befriended. I hope you're able to track down his notebook. If there's anyone out there he'd want to inherit it, I have to imagine it'd be you two. Thank you, we'll do our best. Sure as hell gonna try. Be a waste to just let it go after doing all this work for it. Taxi with a black and yellow checkered pattern. I know exactly which one that is. Had no idea Dingo was a regular in it. So, I see that car out by Central Station a lot. Driver's probably out for lunch right now, though. Let's check the food stalls, see if we get lucky. Oh, is there something else in Blacklight District? There is.
Come on, spill some blood.
Seriously?
Everybody... Okay, well this is interesting. Look at that pose. Everybody's scared shitless here. What's going on? Look over there. They're all knocked out. What could have happened? Oh, I think I might know. Yeah. Not on a hunch, these fools tried barking up the wrong tree, and they paid the price hard. Oh shit. That'd explain it. Well, I'd say they had it coming then. Oh. That explains it. My friend, how wonderful to see you, and the rest of you as well. Good to see you, Your Highness. You sure roughed up those poor bastards, huh? They did get fucked up. I had no hand in this one whatsoever. You see, they attempted to make moves on these ladies here, and they just wouldn't take no for an answer. They got physical, and well, these women, they're truly a force to be reckoned with. Even yours truly quivers before them. He's not wrong. Hey, don't you think that's a little mean, Prince? I was simply performing my duties, nothing more, nothing less. If you say so. Okay, but that doesn't explain why you all were hanging out. You guys make for one weird posse, however you slice it. A mutual acquaintance of ours was kind enough to put me in touch with His Highness, so I came down here to meet with him, but then, as fate would have it, she happened to run into us here as well. Huh, I'm on a break for once after wrapping up a job. I came into town to unwind until the festival, taking some of the local sights. Anyway, I wandered down here looking for a little excitement, I guess you could say. And I got everything I bargained for and more. So she came down here to pick a fight, basically. This is too good to be just some kind of coincidence. Destiny busted brass together. What do you say, Yin, Miss Bodyguard? Want to go around? I think I'm good, thanks. That sounds like a delightful proposal. Don't worry about me, Najee. I encourage, I implore you to take her up on it. Things you say sometimes. I suppose I should just be grateful you're not thinking to throw down with her yourself. Oh, I didn't mean to leave you all out, Van. You guys are more than welcome to. Yeah, I know. We have this thing called work. Strange, I know. Damned if I'm getting caught up in the crossfire between those two. They ain't the kind of threesome I'm into. You're no fun. Yeah, oh well, there's always next time. But don't burn the whole district down, alright? Some people have no hobbies, I guess. I think beating people up is the
Then
hobby.
let's head over.
I'm just glad the people is not me.
That's fair.
And yes, I said that wrong intentionally. Oh. I didn't, however, go the wrong way here intentionally. That's just me being bad with directions.
Well,
Probably is fighting, and more fighting, exactly. The car here is a checker pattern. That's gotta be it. That's a taxi. Driver's gotta be close. Let's sniff him out.
Alrighty. Can we talk?
We found him. That was easy. Oh, well, if it isn't a big boy with a cute girl hugging his arm. Never thought you'd ask me about the name and notebook. Wonders never cease, huh? Looks like we found our guy. So as you were scratching Dingo's back every now and then. Yep, I may not look it, but I used to run all over the Republic taking odd jobs on the down low. I was on his smuggling run once, and bam, I bumped right into him. That's how we met. That must have been 10 years ago. Dingo would have been around 20, I think. Huh. So do you know how he got tangled up with Almana back then too? Oh my boy, do I ever. That was what led him to me for help out of the city that day. I snuck him out just like that. My voice wants to go on me now, doesn't it? Ah, true enough. Hey, that's just how people are in this universe. He hopped on a bus for Cradle, and that was the last I saw of him. In retrospect, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have let his dumbass do it. Wasn't your fault. Don't beat yourself up over it. You weren't the one who killed him. It was Almada. Not even. Dante's owned that shithead. Yeah, I agree with that. On that, we are in complete and total agreement. You're right, yeah. I heard he got what was coming to him at the old capital. I bet Dingo's laughing up there. I'm happy karma came around for the bastard. I hope it makes him feel better. He really regretted being the guy's broker in the past. Dante's wasn't really the same guy once he took over. So that's his background. Not trying to justify him, but Dante's used to have a good rep on the streets. He had a code and he stuck to it, and that let people trust him. No wonder he ended up so popular with how much everybody hated the head honcho before him. He got Dingo hook, line, and sinker. Dingo was his informant. He fed him the info he needed to bring the old guy down, and now instead we have this monster he built. Monster, huh? Does fit him well. I'm not too privy to what happened beyond that, so I don't want to speculate. So you're looking for Dingo's old notebook, and do you think I've got it? Bingo. Please, may I please have it? Well, I'd love to give it to you, but I'm afraid I can't. Why not? Is there something he wanted done first? What? Pretty boy, say it was for your eyes only? Well, he told me to keep an eye out for this Spriggan guy and a newbie reporter. If anything ever happened to him, he wanted me to give this here key to whichever of you two I bump into first. Coin locker key. So what's this key for? Looks like a key for a station coin locker like you see around the subway. Spot on. He said he stashed it in the easiest locker he could find. I'm not sure what he meant by that, though. I have no idea which station it's at. Got it. Easiest locker he could find. Where would that be? Well, that about gives it away. Oh, could it be the one by Van's office? Probably. Let's head on back and take a look. Thanks a bunch, Giordano. Maybe I'll make it up to you with a joyride one of these days when I feel like it. You just call me anytime you're plastered, and I'll be your designated driver. Cool, we might have found it.
Time to depart.
What do I do?
That key we got from the driver probably goes to one of the coin lockers here. What do you say? Should we check what's inside? Sure. Absolutely, I'm ready. Yeah, let's head in. It didn't say anything about time would advance, so I think we're fine. Found the coin lockers tucked away in a corner of the subway station. They located the one that corresponded with the key they held, finding a black leather notebook inside. Group then proceeded to move to a quiet location in order to inspect the contents of the notebook. This is something, alright. I didn't get to talk to Dingo much, but I know for a fact that he was an outstanding man. Indeed, not just anyone could pursue Almada to the degree he did without backup. Probably his way of making amends for the role he played in Dante's rise to power. These notes mention how the previous boss family was murdered too. Even they didn't get spared. That's horrible. Such a heavy burden for him to carry. But that wasn't his fault. He couldn't have known that that's what would happen. I can't imagine he felt like he could be in the public eye anymore after that. And that's why he took me under his wing, a good-for-nothing rookie. Pierce, he compiled quite a few notes about the ringleaders he took down in Orision as well. Take a look. Viola, gender female, age 26. Originally from a minor noble family in the Kalos region in the Central East. Her family fell into bankruptcy after Kato's annexation by Valis. Viola herself being sold off to a wealthy merchant so they could make ends meet. She soon fell into the hands of a criminal organization that was targeting the merchant. With initially nothing more than a plaything and an object of pleasure, she eventually managed to oust the boss and wrestle control into her own hands. Her brutal leadership reputation precedes her. When 2 years later, the group tried to expand their influence into Calvert, they caught the attention of Almada. Conflict with them was brief, as they were quickly obliterated by Dantes, to whom Viola swore loyalty afterward. As a consequence of her turbulent past, she's incredibly dependent on Dantes, which might be the reason she harbors a fierce rivalry with her fellow Melchior, their positions equivalent within the organization. Though the body of her Nido gun was produced by Zayat Arms, the full piece is not a part of their official lineup. Further research regarding the origin of her weapons needed. Still not upset about her being dead. Xander, male, age 35. Born in the former Principality of North Ambria in northwestern Zemuria, he was 5 years old when the Salt Pail appeared, sowing chaos in his homeland. Him and his father, then protectors of the ruling family, fled alongside Prince Balmud when he fled the country, spent most of his childhood and adolescent years in the free city of Taslim. Trained by his father in the traditional military arts of their homeland, he served the former ruling family until the age of 25, though his life was soon thrown into chaos. His father and he were both ordered to retake North Ambria following the death of the Northern Jaegers figurehead, the current ruler since Prince Balmund's escape. After their assault on North Ambria's capital, Halasek, they managed to seize and control the city for a time, acting as its effective government before being overthrown by the Northern Jaegers. This ensued a massacre of the remaining civilians in Halask, mandated by the crazed former Prince Balmund. Standing in opposition with one another, Alexander and his father dueled to the death, Alexander emerging victorious before withdrawing from the battlefield. Though his current whereabouts are unknown, it is believed that Prince Balmund was swiftly and secretly executed by the Northern Jaegers following his capture. Wandering from one corpse to another, Alexander was eventually scouted out by Danis himself, and brought into a leadership position within Almada. Though outwardly austere and restrained, he's merciless in combat, sparing none who dare cross him. His ultimate goal being the search for his final resting place, he has rejected any attempt at persuading him to leave Almada. Despite the mechanized gauntlets he wields not being part of their official lineup, it does appear that they were developed by Sight Arms. On to Olympia. Gender female, age 19. Little is known about her, although she allegedly hails from a remote village hidden in eastern Zemuria. Rumors say the entire village was comprised of heretical puppeteers who worshipped a doll made in the image of an angel. Thought to be an artifact of some sort, the doll was looked after by a medium. Village's gruesome customs mandated that those close to the medium were to be offered as sacrifices. The sacrifices spared no one, not friends nor family, though soon tragedy befell the village, leaving Olympia and the doll alone to wander the continent after the demise of all they knew. Multiple records suggest instances of criminals being slaughtered when encroaching on the wandering pair. She's later inducted into the Gardens, the assassin organization, and made overseer of the Garden of Arum. It appears she's been mostly left to her own devices after being invited by the other overseers, these including Melchior and the Emperor. If I were to guess, the incident that took place in her village led to her and the angel developing a psychologically interdependent relationship, resulting in her autonomy and emotional expression diminishing. In light of the crisis that's made the Gardens join forces, she may have a chance to reclaim that lost capacity, albeit an incredibly slim one. Yeah, glad we spared her, all in all. Ariak, age male, or gender male, age over 150. Contrast to the known confirmed leaders of Almada and Garden Overseers, eyewitness reports of him are few. What we do know of him, the Garden of Rust Overseer, is that he is a very dangerous man clad in heavy armor. Much information about him stretches belief, including how he was supposedly born in a different time period altogether, over 150 years ago. If he was, he's said to proceed from the mythical Holy Iskian Empire, an enormous nation believed to have laid just across the Tianshan and Ishgal Mountains to Calvert's east. The empire is presumed to have vanished following a calamity 130 years ago. In its heyday, 9 groups served to protect the royal imperial line. Eastern sources indicate that he was a warrior who represented the Rau, a tribe of white descent hailing from the west. I'm inclined to believe it's all bullshit, but in an age where immortals like the Lance Maiden can exist in Erebonia, I can't rule out the possibility of there being some truth to it either. Whether it's true or not, evidence might suggest that his armor and his strangely shaped battle axe might be artifacts. Considering his joining the Gardens and the stories claiming his immortality, this might be highly likely. On top of that, he's a primary suspect regarding the Eisenschild's annihilation in the outskirts of Krail, though I still can't state that for a fact. More information is needed. And Melchior. Melchior, gender male, age 21. One of Amada's 3 pillars, and quite possibly his most evil and sinister member. He doubles down as the Garden's ringleader and overseer of the Garden of Thorns. His skills don't fall behind any of his artifact-wielding peers, being highly skilled in the use of the Orbital Net and being capable of infinitely spawning and freely controlling explosives. Beyond that, he also acts as Amada's main strategist and Dante's right-hand man and confidant, and possibly his lover. Though his past is shrouded in mystery, his origins might trace back to the same organization the Oathbreaker, one of Ouroboros Anguis, also comes from. The Order of the Moonlight Horse existed since the Middle Ages, where the Oathbreaker sat among its top brass for the longest time before losing to Ouroboros and switching sides. He is an entirely different matter, and a major threat all of its own. Wrapping this background, Melchior might have been a direct subordinate of the Oathbreaker before going on to take in the scattered remains of that infamous cult. If that's true, that would make him something of a prince of the underworld. For someone as powerful as him to idolize Dante so much is nothing sort of ominous and concerning, to say the least. Another thing that concerns me is him staying in Krail's vicinity following the Eisenschild turning into ghouls. Krail's not just some sleepy village with beautiful vistas. More than a tourist spot, it lies stuck between several forces working from the shadows. It also happens to be one of the few places in northern Calvert with a sizable eastern and central eastern population. Knowing the sources of Almada's financing, actually, I'd rather not speculate it further. That's crazy. Dante's male, age 34. If I let my feelings take way, Dante's could fill every single page in this notebook. There's not a night where I'm not overcome with regret, but this notebook is not meant for my personal thoughts. Most things I've come to learn about him and his life are at least a little eyebrow raising. Him being a member of the G cult before joining Almada, being related to Calvard's old royal family, perhaps even a direct descendant. Tales of his sword are equally as hard to believe, a gigantic blade of black and silver, thought to be an artifact hidden by the royal family. This demon blade was the instrument with which he slew Enrique, Almada's previous head. Hard as these tales are to believe, their true purpose is to strike fear into the hearts of those who hear them, to make Dante's nothing short of the living manifestation of shadows and agony. Deep as the abyss and equally as alluring, his unquenchable thirst for fear is what draws many to him. Seductive and enchanting, it has earned him many loyal followers. Where does such unfathomable hunger come from? A new hypothesis surfaced recently which might finally explain things. Its source, however, is a little unusual, and I'm not particularly keen to take it at face value. That's neither here nor there. The more pressing matter is his goal in Basil, and that him and the others might have been after something else. His true goal, I imagine, fear, the want and need to bring about the true dread and terror to the masses. He wasn't able to achieve it even with the help of a genius. That will not put a stop to him. He'll stop at nothing to achieve his mission. Looking into this matter should take priority. Regardless, he sure managed to pull a fast one on me and Tharbad. I was distracted by that call, but that's no excuse. I should have seen through him much sooner than I did. But try as he might to stay one step ahead, I'll forever be hot on his heels.
At this point, I've worked out how I'm going to get everything recorded, as well as how to leave these notes behind. Now comes the real showdown with him. It's going to be the biggest gamble I make as both a reporter and an information dealer. If, by some sheer miracle, I make it back in one piece, I'll absolutely be following up on those theories I've written about. I can already imagine the hell I'm in for with that dope of a Spriggan and that cub reporter. I really do worry about her. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's just part of the fun.
Aw. That's a lot to digest.
Dingo. Dingo.
You dumbass. Who's the real dope between us, huh?
This dude was totally nuts. How the hell did he find it in him to go that far? No kidding, I'm actually with him on this. I can only imagine his love and care for others spurring him on to gather this much information. He's both a clever and kind man. And he wasn't just trying to make amends or settle a score. I don't doubt he genuinely worried for everyone's future. Goes without saying, but it's a true shame. He was taken from us far too young. I'm so glad you two were able to find his notes. Likewise, it must have been the will of the goddess. Once Meryl collected herself, the party drove her back to Tyrell Times. After reporting their success to the editor-in-chief, Cunning, they got back to work. As for Dingo's notes, once the contents were copied, it was decided that Mariel would hold on to the originals for safekeeping.
Mission accomplished. Great job, you guys.
Love to see it.
Mira deposit confirmed.
And we got more grade points. One additional free time point was added for completing all the 4 SPGs. You okay, Van? Oh yeah, I'm fine, just thinking. Something bothering you? Guessing the stories about the gangsters on Wada Remnants are on your mind? Yeah. Bomani, Jack, and Achille were all talking about them, then it's definitely worth mulling over. Heard something interesting while following up on Mr. Brad's case as well. You're thinking about how they were spotted in the Tyrell district, right? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, that is kind of worrying. Maybe we should drop by Tyrell, just in case, you know? Not a bad idea, it can't hurt to check the area out again. We could probably rule out the busier parts of the district. Same for the area near the restaurant that's run by Huey. An additional mandatory investigation point has been added in the Tyrell district. So I'm guessing that's the place where we're going to have to go to advance the plot. So we're not going to do that yet. Instead, we're going to do our bonding points. So we have Yumi available, but she's already maxed. Okay, so we're doing this one for sure. Director Lillian's request. Fee, we're doing that. Okay. So I think what we're going to do, she's already maxed. So I think she's going to be the one that we skip, because we definitely want to do Ren's, because I'm not doing Ren's. That's happening. Nina's is fun. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so let's do Jack and Hale first. Yep, short break. Everyone split up so they can spend their free time as they pleased. There he is. Looks like Jack's got business with Yimai? I probably butchered that name. But, hey, this isn't what you promised, old man. Promised? No, I'm sorry, but I haven't the foggiest idea what you're talking about. I never promised you anything, you see. Sup, got a problem? Oh, hey, Van, you actually came, huh? Yeah, we just had a little concern about you is all. So what happened? I asked this guy to reserve a certain 10 mirror coin for me on the off chance he came across it so I could buy it off him. But instead he went behind my back and pawned it off to someone else. 10 mirror coin? What's got you worked up over it? It's what we in the business call an error coin, a misprint if you will. Not only are the portrait and text flipped, but the copper is the wrong color too. It has a slight silver hue to it. These little mistakes are often 1 in 10,000, if not rarer. 30,000 mirror per coin is quite common. But that's not all that it can inflate the value of these. No sir. Owner history plays a part too, and a previous owner as infamous as his coins can bump the value up even higher. 50,000 by my estimate. Damn, 50,000 Mira for a little coin? Must have had one hell of a past life to command that kind of money. You're damn right it did. Take it you know about my mentor and my greatest rival? Of course I do. King himself, ain't it? Hale's own old man. Right, then you probably know that he's not around anymore. There's a reason for that. It was dumb little shit when I was younger. My cocky ass got him killed. Damn, dude, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to dig up all that baggage. Well, now you know. Anyway, I'm sure you've put 2 and 2 together. That coin we're arguing over used to belong to him. Sure, after he died, that coin disappeared. I had no idea where it went, at least until yours truly happened upon it. Jack offered 100,000 Mira for that little coin, and at the time, I was more than happy to give it to him. Unfortunately, another customer beat him to the punch with a 105,000 Mira offer. Poor Jack was just minutes too late. It really was nothing personal. I was just doing as a businessman does and taking the better offer. Give me a break. If you just told me somebody had put in a counter offer, I would have put up more money too. That is a little odd that you didn't do that this time. I know just how much you like to ring people for every mirror they're worth. So who's the money bag as we ran off with the coin? Well, if you want to know, you'll have to go straight to the source. Just so happens, the buyer left a note to pass on to Jack. It says plainly, if you'd like the coin back, come to Kayunj? Great, you couldn't just sell the damn coin to them. You had to help them antagonize me too? Thanks, Yumai. Every now and again, someone comes out of the woodwork trying to pick a fight with me. Who's got out for me this time, though? I haven't a clue. Yeah, I remember that pair of cheaters you had to deal with in Laneport when we were in town. Sure and easy being famous, huh? And straight over now then? I think I'll tag along and see how it goes down. Sure, go ahead. I don't mind the company. Huh? What are you doing here? She's the one that bought the coin, I guess? Why do you think I'm here? It's because I'm the one who bought the coin. Figured it was possible I might run into you, and now here you are, I guess. Yep, here I am. Good to see you, Van. I was originally planning on having Mal officiate our little game. But if you're here, I'd be more than happy to have you do it if you don't mind. Sure, I could do that. Bit of a roundabout way to challenge someone to a game, though, don't you think? Yeah, but unless I go to this much trouble, Jack won't take it as seriously as he should. So just to reiterate, Jack, I want to play a game of poker with you. Winner keeps king's coin. Sound good to you? I'm game, you're on. You think you have any chance of winning against me? You really need to ask? You're right, my bad. That was dumb. Alright, now with that handled, I'll have you hold on to the coin, man. Every round, you'll flip that bad boy to determine who goes first. If it's heads, I go first. Tails, Jack goes first. Feels like I'm being given a big responsibility running this match. I'll do my best to make you guys proud. Sure, you'll do just fine, Van. We appreciate having you. Well, may the best hand win. Let's get down to business. Jack and Hale's game got underway as Van watched the proceedings unfold. The pair exchanged 100,000 Mira for 10 poker chips. They began to trade blows with each hand of cards. Once the match fully heated up, all of the remaining chips were put on the line in a dramatic showdown. You've really stepped up your game, Hale. I'm impressed. Truth be told, I didn't expect you to even last this long. Save it for when you win, Jack. This game ain't over until it's over. Got that right. Sheesh, you two are freaking nuts. Not too many in Zemuria who can read each other's hands and bluff the way you can. Looks like this next hand's gonna be our grand finale. Sure seems like it. Keep up the good work, man. Doesn't matter who goes first. Either way, your fate's already set. Well, here goes nothing. Moment of truth. Which hand should I catch the coin with? I don't know, left. It's tails. Your move, Jack. Damn, I gotta go first, huh? That's the way it's going to be. I'll exchange 2 cards. Aw, were you thinking of trying that on me? No wonder you're disappointed. It's definitely better to go second in that case. Hale's got 4 kings. What have you got, Jack? I get it now. You must have mastered King's technique to play like that. 4 of a kind for Jack. What's going on? Did Hale set this all up? Sure did. King's whole specialty back in the day was taking control of the cards, including his opponent's own hand. Played well, Hale. Ain't nothing to it. What? There's still 1 card you haven't opened. What could you possibly still have left? The game should be over. Not if I've got a wild card in my hand. And that's exactly what I have. A 5 of a kind with jacks. Read 'em and weep. Sorry, Hale, I win. Not sure I follow you guys. Did you somehow use Hale's own move against her? More or less, yeah. No, wait, how is that possible? The reverse Uno card? Pretty much. I could wonder all I like, but at the end of the day, they call you Victory Jack for a reason. I lost, and that's all there is to it. It's time for me to pay the piper, I suppose. Coin's all yours, Jack. Here are, Jack. Good game. Thanks. That was a fun one, to say the least. There's one more thing we need to settle before we head on out. Hey, I'll be giving you the coin. You're the one who should hold on to it. Huh? What are you doing? We agreed that whoever won gets to keep the coin. You earned it. You shouldn't give it back to me. In fact, I want you to have it. There's nobody else I'd rather see it with than you. Seriously, take it. It's okay. Oh, I get it now. That whole match was just a setup for her to give the coin to him all along, wasn't it? Sorry, Hale, but I can't let you have your way on this one. That coin was mine, then it'd be up for me to decide what to do with it. But if you're that determined to hoist the thing on me anyway, then there's only one thing you can do. Play you again and win. That's right, that's how things work in our world. Fine, if that's how you're going to be, you're on. I'll keep improving my skills, and then one of these days I'll beat you when you're playing your absolute hardest. Until then, you'd better not lose to anybody else but me, or your ass is grass. Deal? Deal. I feel like we stumbled into a Yu-Gi-Oh episode. Man, you won't find another pair of gamblers like these anywhere in Zemuria. I'm glad I got to see this little exchange today. That was neat. With the promise made, Van proceeded to enjoy some yum cha with Jack and Hale at Kaiunji. Afterwards, he reunited with the others and got back to work.
We should get some drinks and have another heated round of cards soon.
Maybe I'll crack open the good stuff for you when you do. Just try not to drink yourself stupid, Jack.
Received victory dice. I wonder what victory dice even does. Oh, we have something to claim. 5 bonds max. Neat. Oh, there's more? Okay, let's see what the victory dice does. Where is the victory dice? Accuracy plus 40, crit plus 40%. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Shame we need a null status effects instead, but that is very, very good. Alright. Next up on the connections. We're just gonna keep going in order of interest. So, from least to most, so we'll do this one. What's she doing out here? This is the real me. The one you don't know, the one I don't want you to know. But No, this isn't right. I'm missing something. Hey there, thought about taking a break? What are you doing here? Your director sent for me. There's an actress I've been working with, there's an actress I've been working with whose work I'd like your opinion on, if that's okay. I don't know why that was a hard sentence for me to read. Ever since I offered her the part, she's been immersed in the role, almost to a scary degree. I was originally gonna ask Judith for help here, but it might be a bad idea if I did it, since I'm not involved with the film's production at all. I know you're pretty tight-lipped, so I said, why not? So you gonna help? I guess they were both really worried about me. We recently filmed one of the most important scenes in my next film, you see. The director said my final cut was fine, so we're ready to move on. I'm still not happy with it. I feel like I can do better, so I asked him to let me shoot again after I rehearsed it some more. And that's why you're here all alone. It sounded like a long monologue. Surprised it's given you so much trouble. I think it's because I've been rehearsing it alone. I meant to look at someone during the actual scene, and it's hard when I don't have anyone. Oh, I know. Would you be willing to act as my partner while I practice? Didn't see that one coming, but I know that even if I said no, you ain't leaving until it's perfect. Are you sure you want to ask me? I ain't exactly an experienced actor. That's alright. Just you being here will make a world of difference. Alright, I got the time to spare, so give it your best shot. Just don't go expecting nothing a sack of flour couldn't do better. Thank you. As her partner, she continued practicing the problematic scene over and over. But in the end, she still wasn't able to come up with a take she was happy with. How about that break? This is your job and all, but you're gonna burn yourself out if you keep at it non-stop. I'm so sorry, it feels like I've just been wasting your time here. I should have known I couldn't handle this like Judith does. What's she gotta do with this? You guys are very different kinds of actresses, yeah? People always talk about how I embody the characters I act so naturally. It's like I'm possessed by them. You might be able to put a positive spin on it, but what those words mean at the day is that my acting has no real soul of its own. That's a bit harsh. What's the truth? With Judith's acting is just so full of heart and soul. Every one of her roles has an identity that's uniquely hers. Not to say that she's not doing a good job portraying the role, of course, I don't mean that. She maintains that role's integrity, but she always puts part of her into it. So she takes to every role in a way that's uniquely hers. That's her greatest appeal as an actress, if you ask me. I see it, yeah. But I just can't do that. I don't have her strength or spirit, and I never will because I'm empty. All I can do is act the role I'm given. That's all I can ever do. She's extremely transparent while acting, so much so that you might see right through her and her hollow acting. I remember reading that on a magazine after your debut film aired. You have a good memory. You know that just because someone said that doesn't mean it's true, right? That's how people see you if that's how people see you, then that's a talent you should take in stride. You can call my acting skills whatever you want, but the truth is I'll never measure up to Judith. And that might be your problem right there. If you really think there's nothing in there, then that's all the more space to start filling in. There's still plenty of time for you to create the identity you think you're lacking. You've got a lot of material to take inspiration from. What do you mean? You're well known for not just taking a script and listening to it to a T. You always take it a step further. Grab yourself in the role and let it become who you are. You think and act like the characters would. That's not something you just up and forget. Or do their lives and experiences just vanish from your head after you stop playing the role? No, they don't. I remember everything. I remember the warmth of being in Ron's arms as Michelle in Wolf's Requiem. I still remember how reassuring it was to have my friends and companions at my side, and Gloria as Sheena Dirk. Thought so. You remember all that so clearly. And that's not something just everyone can do. Not even Judith. Those voices, those feelings are just as much a part of you. You ain't empty. So don't let that overwhelm you either. You gotta listen to what you want to. And I might get shit for saying this, but to hell with the script. I think this should be more important to you. So it's something that only you can do. I never even considered disregarding my lines. That might actually be a good idea. You mind if I try the scene one more time? I might actually have something. And let's start from the very beginning this time. Yeah, sure. Wait, already? And so they resume their acting. Nina performed the scene over and over, Van still acting as her partner. Every attempt refined the scene further, and Nina could feel the pleasant and satisfying exhaustion wash over her. Eventually...
This is the real me. The one you don't know. The one I don't want you to know. But I can't run anymore. Not if I'm going to stay true to myself.
Cut. Hi. How long have you all been there? Wait, were you filming this? Don't worry, we're only filming Nina. That was spectacular, Nina. I know I approved our previous take, but this was significantly better. You were off script a little, but that doesn't matter when I could feel you and your character's soul so perfectly in your delivery. Thank you. Alright everyone, let's keep this momentum and get back to shooting. Of course. That's taken care of. Same, it's a relief. It feels like I finally saw a side of myself I never faced before. Thank you so much for your help. Parted ways, Vanley and Nina and her crew, they're filming.
That was invigorating. You should keep an eye out for my next performance.
Alright, next up, we got Fee. Let's go hang out with Fee. Sorry for the wait. Don't worry about it. I just got here myself. Thanks for coming. I think nothing of it. Seems this has to do with one of my part-timers, so I figured I might as well. You want me to help out with the memento of the flame eaters, right? Yep, I want to fix up the custom rifle that Ida used to use. Seems like you've heard about it already. Sure have. We tried to get it repaired before, but they told us it wasn't really feasible. Oh yeah, I remember that. I assume the two of you found a way to fix it? Bingo. We learned what parts we'd need to repair it, so all that's left is to actually get them. It's been bothering me ever since I learned it was damaged, so I'm glad I could finally do something. Figure things will get really busy once the festival starts, so I want to get it taken care of before then. Fairy's working on the stuff that can be gathered above ground, while you're gonna get the underground stuff from the Blacklight District, in other words. You want me to show you around the place. Exactly. I've heard that nose of yours is really impressive. So impressive that even Zen relies on it. How about it? You up for being my guide? Sure, why not? Couldn't hurt putting you in my debt more. I'd be helping one of my part-timers move on too. Sounds like a win-win to me. Thanks, let's get moving then. The Van Fleet made haste to the Blacklight District. Upon arrival, they scoured the area in search of replacement parts for Ida's rifle. You're looking to fix up a custom rifle, eh? Not to discourage you fine folks, but that sounds like quite the pain in the behind. We know, and we're prepared to deal with it. As you can probably guess, we need some specialized parts to get it in working condition. Mind showing us the rifles, suppressors, and foregrips you've got in stock at the moment? Not at all. Right this way, young lady. Hopefully I've got what you're looking for. It's definitely got a wide selection, but none of it looks quite right. What about this part over here? Looks pretty unwieldy, but nothing any decent Jaeger couldn't handle. Yeah, maybe. This might actually be the same model Ida used, or the same make at least. This might work in a pinch. Might as well give it a shot. Working on Flame Eater's rifle, huh? I've heard stories about that bad boy. You're in luck. I know for a fact that that rifle I used back when I was on active duty is the same generation as her gun. You could go ahead and take it if you want. It should have a part or two you can use. Damn, that's real generous of you. For real, are you sure? I mean, that has to mean a lot to you. I'm no Jaeger anymore, so I don't mind parting with it. Helping the Colonel's daughter sounds better to me anyway. In return, just promise me you come back and tell me how the Purple Lightning's doing. Hey, we got a Sarah reference. I've been rooting for her ever since she hung it up to walk her own path. Let me know how she's holding up, yeah? Deal. Can't say I know everything, but I'll be happy to share what I can. Eventually, Feet and Van managed to scrape together the needed parts to repair the gun, albeit from a less than desirable mix of sources. Fairy having acquired her allotted parts, the group reconvened at the arms dealer inside the department store. Silly, who had previously consulted about the rifle's damages, agreed to assist with its repairs. Fan watched over the whole process and helped with basic tasks like polishing as needed. Eventually... Hey, they fixed it. Well, would you look at that? All back to the way it was. Ain't that something? Evan has the same custom rifle muzzle she used back in her Zephyr days. Maximized its firepower and improved its accuracy. She really liked talking about that thing. See why. When customized in other ways too, the weight and distribution probably makes it unwieldy to anyone who isn't a rifle pro. I had no problem handling it. She and this rifle were a match made in heaven. No doubt about that. I'm glad we were able to get it fixed up for her. Yeah, the Flame Eater couldn't have asked for a better pair of sisters. So what do you plan to do with it now? That's a good question. How would you feel about using it? I don't think a rifle of this size would suit me, to be honest. Ida once told me to remain true to my own style. I don't think I'd be honoring her if I changed mine to adapt to her weapon. Figured you'd say something like that. It doesn't fit mine either. I have a better idea. How about we deliver it to the current members of Zephyr? Oh yeah, I heard they reformed after the war. Remember when I was talking about that earlier in this playthrough and people were like, App, you're crazy, that didn't happen. And then I'm like, okay, bet. Anyway. Yep, it's changed Diane since then. Now it's being led by two of his former regimental commanders, Zeno and Leo. I'm fine with giving it over to them, but are you sure that's what you want? Yes, I've thought long and hard about it. At her final moments, I can English. Ida said the names of her Zephyr comrades, including you. I can tell she treasured her family there. That's why I want to return it to them. Fairy is very wholesome. Okay, that works for me. I'll go ahead and arrange for it to be delivered then. Oh? How are you going to do that? You do realize a civilian courier can't just waltz into Zephyr turf with a rifle in hand, right? Well aware. That's not what I had in mind. I know someone named Josette who owns a delivery company. Her people should be able to go get it over to them without much trouble. Hey, a Josette reference. I've heard of them. They're based in Liberal, yeah? You sure know a lot of people, don't you? I could say the same about you. You got in contact with a courier who happily accepted the task and got straight to work. Afterwards, she reached out to Zephyr, who were in a remote region of the continent, to give them a heads up. It won't be long until it's delivered, so can you stick around your base camp for a while longer? Sure thing, we had to kill time before our next job anyway. Jaeger's weapon is their very soul. We'll take good care of it. 3 of us fought side by side many times as regimental commanders. She's dearly missed. The Eisenchild told us about what happened to her. It's strange to think a part of her will be coming back to us. Like to think she's sharing a laugh and a drink with the boss on the other side right about now. Probably stressing all about her little sisters too, the worrywart. One shot me. It was good talking to you both again. See you around. Likewise, give our regards to Ida's other little sister. Sounds like she's gotten herself caught up in something fishy. Tell her to take care of herself. Well, that settles that. You must be one of the only bracers in the guild who keeps in touch with Jaegers. We don't talk that often, but they reach out to me every now and then. Now that we've got that squared away, I think I'm gonna drop by a cafe. Wanna come with? I can share some stories about Ida and Zephyr if you're interested. Really? I'd love that. And I can tell you some about my people and our village. Cool, I'd like to hear all about them. Bea and Fairy went off to enjoy some tea and conversation. Once Fairy returned, the group got back to work.
It'd be nice to introduce you to some friends of mine if the chance ever comes up.
Oh, it was very wholesome. I enjoyed that. Alright, so before we do the last one, I think we still haven't seen the movie for this chapter, so we should probably do that if I can remember where it is. There it is.
Off we go!
So we'll do this first. Then we'll do the last one. Where is
Thank you for your visit today.
There you are. Hi.
Hello. The showing on screen 1 will soon begin.
Moon Knight Memories.
If you have a ticket,
I wish I
please
told you
proceed
what
to the
you've
entrance.
already watched, but
We have merchandise. from the
Anya, go to Judith. Let's go Judith.
Why not buy a souvenir to remember your visit?
Anya's. Oh, that's it? Okay. Oh, you saw this movie? Oh, we saw this movie before?
Hello.
Oh, it did tell you. Okay. So what about Rainfall?
Thank you for your visit today. The showing on screen 2 will soon
Anya's and Judith.
begin. If you have a ticket,
Okay, this time it's a new movie. Will, an up-and-coming stockbroker, and Maya, a woman of ambition, both work at local branches of their respective trading and banking companies. After a chance encounter in the city, the two hit it off and started dating, growing steadily closer. It seems they were destined to be together. That is until one fateful day, when their relationship reaches an unexpected turning point.
You want to break it off? Just like that?
Oh, come on. It was just a bit of a fling, right? Just two lonely people trying to feel less lonely for a while. I'm studying abroad, and you're moving back to your main office. It's like Adios herself planned for us to separate.
Fine, I get it. Guess this is it then. You better make those dreams of yours come true.
Of course I will. Who do you think you're talking to,
Yeah, I know. Well, take care, Mia.
You take care too, Will. Thanks for a wonderful time. Why'd it have to rain? Damn it, Will. Couldn't you tell these were tears?
Well, that was a weird movie. That was a very weird movie. I can't even describe how I feel after seeing Mia's face when they go their separate ways. Well, at least Anya's liked it, I guess, right? I really wanted Will to do more to hold on to her. I could get that, but Will was probably trying to respect Mia's wishes. He let her go precisely because he loved her so much. Still frustrating, though. It's clear Will still had a lot of feelings for her in the end. Besides, deep down, you can't ever lie about how you feel. What was that? I didn't catch what you said. Nothing, I was just thinking to myself, thanks for inviting me, man. I wish it had a better ending, but I still really enjoyed the movie. There's a certain sweetness to Maya's lighthearted disposition that I really enjoyed. And the way she went from looking so strong to those tears rolling down her face as it was raining, it was really... Can you not critique the movie like you're some film reviewer when I'm right here? You're making me feel self-conscious. I guess I appreciate you noticing, though. I did put a lot of effort in putting on just the right expression for that scene. There's a certain pain and suffering Mia feels in that scene that she can't let on to Will in that moment. I wanted that to really sting for people in the audience who can't do anything but watch that sadness unfold. I could see that now that you mention it. It goes to show how talented you clearly are as an actress if you're able to pull off something that complicated. That's really high praise coming from a movie buff as big as you. Thanks, that means a lot. Sure, I'll take a brochure. Finish their break, they resume their work. Alright, so now that we saw our movie for the chapter, now we can do this. So if there's a chance to hang out with Ren, I'm gonna take it. That's always how this works. Brigand request addressed towards both you and I. Something stinks real bad about this one, but I don't think it's just a prank either. Thoughts? I can handle it myself if you'd like. That's fine. I'll lend you a hand. Your hair is kind of clipping through your body. Does that hurt? It's fine. You have quite a few shared acquaintances after all. It's worth looking into. So, what's the request about? Okay, retrieval. Something's been smuggled into the city via the underground, and we're supposed to go get it. The route there is pretty convoluted, and it looks like shit's been encrypted over and over a few times. Not gonna lie, this might be a little bit out of my depth. Lucky for you that I'm here. We both are perfectly suited for this matter, so let's cooperate and get to the bottom of this. After Arena worked together, Van and Bran decoded the 4 SPG. They continued gathering clues afterward from the Orbital Net and the Underworld. Eventually, the trail led them to an Atashi case. This must be what we're looking for. That was some tricky shit to figure out. They definitely didn't cut us any slack. I'll say, we had to follow the thinnest threads we could find just to get here. Had we not teamed up, this whole search would probably be dead in the water. They must have trusted us to find it in the end, though, if it was here after all. Well, let's crack it open and see what's inside. What? Writing utensils and painting supplies? The hell's this stuff for? There's something weird about any of them. Just normal ass pencils. I don't get it. Oh, it looks like we've also got these letters here. They're addressed to the both of us. No sender listed, but I can only think of one. Right. Grandpa George, beyond a doubt. Dear Ren, I realize I'm more than 6 months late. Before I say anything else, I want to congratulate you on your acceptance into Aramis. Time really does fly fast, doesn't it? It looks like it was only yesterday that you enrolled in Yenis. You've always had that impeccable talent and appetite for learning, from your studies to your papers and everywhere in between. You may have felt at first that there was no point returning to ordinary schooling, that it was a waste of time for a mind of your caliber. But there are some things you can only learn and experience in those common places. I suspect you've come to realize that yourself. Now that you have a place in this world to call your own, it's good to spread your wings and spend time away from your friends and family. Although I only looked after you for a short period, I pray that you find happiness wherever your travels take you. Sincerely, Grandpa Yord. P.S. Thank you for taking care of those kids and tidying up the workshop during your visit a year and a half ago. I greatly appreciate it. I didn't know what to get you to celebrate your admission, so I simply picked up some safe bets for a student your age. If you have no use for them, feel free to throw them out. I'll hardly be hurt. Don't be like that, Grandpa. I could never throw these things away. He's still as he ever was, awkward and clumsy outside of his doll making. I wouldn't have it any other way. Whoever was writing this game, they really liked Crossbell, because holy, this Crossbell gets brought up so much. It's kind of crazy. Let's see what he's got to say to me next. Van Arkwright. Goes without saying that you and I have done much for each other over the years. I won't dwell on that ancient history. But if I can offer one piece of advice to you, do not avert your eyes from the spirit you have within. Beyond that, please continue to guide and protect my granddaughter. I trust that you're looking out for her while she's in your periphery. Did he really have to write that last part? I'm not used to seeing him be so protective. Hard to blame the guy. He hasn't seen you in years. Kind of a little slack. At least it's not just you he's been nosy with anyway. What do you mean by spirit within, though? That's an intriguing line. Good question. Beats me. No idea what he's talking about, but that's par for the course of them. I mean, you know how he is. Guy just sees everything differently. One hell of a grandpa you've got there. You know that? People say his dolls are beyond lifelike. They even have their own hearts and souls. Maybe that power lets him take a look inside other people's hearts all the time. All the same, rather. He could be onto something. It wouldn't hurt to keep what he wrote to you in mind, whatever it turns out to mean. Maybe, yeah. So, where's that old fart anyway? Any idea where he is or what he's up to these days? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. He may very well have slipped back to his workshop in Crossbell by now. Or perhaps he's abandoned it and set up shop somewhere else entirely. It's so hard to tell with him. My master is like that too. Maybe being all cryptic and shit's just part of getting old. Maybe so. I'm happy to have heard from him at least. Thanks for bringing me along. I'll have to return the favor one of these days. Hey, take it down a notch. You play with fire, you might get burned. Oh, you think I'm still just some little girl, do you? I'll be all grown up before you know it. In many ways, I already am. At least enough for you to reach out and lend you a... At least enough for me to reach out and lend you a hand when you need it most. Just like you did for me all those years ago. Sheesh, the old man's right. This girl is growing up fast. Too fast, if you ask me. Sure, I'll ring you up if I really need a hand. Trust me, I will if the game... Like, I will bring her along no matter what. The game gives me an options. Just like that, it's back to usual
I'll invite you
business.
to a tea party sometime. I do so enjoy being a good hostess.
Superior Lady, Van's ATS plus 10. Well, that doesn't really help. I don't really use his arts much for physical, or I mean for damage dealing, but all in all, that was very interesting.
Thank you for your visit.
All the Ren stuff seems to be made for people who had like followed the series previously, so I really like that lore. And also, I need to plan these parts better. This was like almost an hour and 40-minute part, but hey, we had a lot of side questing to do. I want to get it done in one part, so what are you gonna do?